You got to ask, because what happens is we start dealing, Shalom, we start.
Keep the Bible on cop. The Most High is my rock. TK. Rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. My rock. The Most High is my rock. In the name of Messiah, the Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. My rock. The Most High is my rock. Yeah. The Most High is my rock. I keep my Bible on cop. The Most High is my rock. No time for cupcake and the cutling. Hit the streets and start cutting. The Israelites are bubbling. The Israelites are coming. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You can keep the stuffing. It's pagan, disdain, it's vain, it's nothing. The European Union about to hit the button. And I feel sorry for you if you think the Lord is bluffing. That's why I hit the booth and I tell the truth. Are you fishing with the truth? Homie, where's your fruit? If the Most High is your rock, don't treat him like a side piece. Come in this truth plan and treat you like a side piece. He's the God of mercy and wrath. So do you want to fly or do you keep the Bible on cop? The Most High is my rock. TK. Rock.
How you doing? Doing good? Shalom, Israel. Everybody online, we're going to get class rolling like we always do. Shalom to brothers and sisters in here. We're going to start out with questions like we always do. I'll do my little announcements until brothers and sisters get online. And then we'll go right into questions. If y'all have any questions, go ahead and prepare them now so we can go ahead and answer those. All right. So for brothers and sisters online, and I mean for brothers and sisters in here that don't know by now, if you subscribe to our main channel, which is in Houston, and to this channel, you get 6 days of class. All right. You're going to get Monday to Saturday in class. So if you're new to the channels, go subscribe to our other main channel and you can go ahead and get class. If you want to mess around with this, test. It's got an echo in it. So you got to kind of mess around with it. I'll talk in it, but not too close, so you can try to adjust it. So we have classes Monday to Saturday if you subscribe to both channels. All right. We have classes in Houston. We have classes in Virginia. We have classes in Albuquerque. Working on classes in Albuquerque. Excuse me. San Antonio, we have classes, and they've been working on their online thing. You know, one thing with San Antonio, they wanted to make sure they got all the right equipment before they go full-fledged online, and wanted to make sure everything was set up with that. So that's going to be going down. We also have Blog Talk Radio. Mashaba, Priest Mashaba has been going at that hard. And there's all old video, old audio on there also. blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. All right. And that's Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. All right. So if y'all hungry, if y'all want to learn, we got a lot of venues to do that. All right. If you don't have any fringes, you got to get your fringes up. You got to get your clothes fringe. You're just coming in and you need garments. The sisters at Israel Wear, they are doing that. They're really good at it. And that you can go to Israel Wear on Facebook. That's right? Israel Wear on Facebook. And you can go also to www.isbhbk. I think that's up there, right? Our website is up there. Go to Fringed Up and get your fringes up. All right. My number, which is the school number, is going to be up there. You can call, text, if y'all have any questions. Let me say this. We've been answering a lot of questions lately. If we haven't got to your question, just remind us. We're not omnipotent. We will forget. We're not perfect. We might say we're going to get back to it, but forget. So we ain't trying to forget about your question. Just hit us back up, and we will go back over it again. All right? Let's see here. Priest Quatzazop's number is up there also. And, you know, obviously during class you can text. After class you can holler at us. If y'all want to talk, counsel, anything, we are there at your service. All right? If you want to give to the school, you want to help us pay our rent, pay the bills, all right? That information is up there. When y'all want to help out, we will appreciate it. And we do appreciate all the brothers and sisters online, as always, man, that help out our school. Our school would not be going without y'all. We appreciate y'all. We thank y'all. All right, so we're going to start out with questions. You got to take all that echo out. Whatever echo you got in there, you got to take it out. So, we do have a question started now. And it was a question from the brother Jamal. I'm going to start out with that. And then, if we got any other questions, we'll answer them also. But, the question was about, because we talked to him about haircuts and the way we cut our hair. And just leave it like that for right now. You probably mess everything up. You probably just start turning dials, then. Yeah, come on over here. Come on up here so we can get these scriptures real quick. You know, we talked to him about, you know, brothers coming in and, you know, coming from the world, we cut our hair anyway. A lot of our customs were African customs, right? So the one scripture we went over with him is Leviticus, the 21st chapter. I want to reiterate that one real quick. And then I'm going to go to the second one he asked about, which is in Ezekiel, the 5th chapter. And then we're going to go to another one to explain, to edify. So let's go to Leviticus 21 and 5.
All right. Leviticus chapter 21 and verse 5.
Come on. You need a Bible? We got you. Shirai, grab him a Bible and grab him that Apocrypha up there. All right. So read that real quick. Leviticus.
You want to wait until he gets it?
Yeah, we'll wait till Vaughn gets it real quick. And once again, man, y'all keep coming with the questions. These are good questions, man, for brothers and sisters that need a lot of these basics, man. And just like me and Chris were talking, you gotta study. You don't want to be the confused brother to where when you jump online and somebody says something and you're jumping back and forth and now you're confused. So you gotta study, ask questions, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. So feel free to ask. We're going to try to simplify it, go over the basics. We're at Leviticus 21, and you're going to read verse 5.
Yeah, 19 and 27.
Yeah.
Leviticus chapter 21 and verse 5. They shall not make baldness upon their head.
Right. So one of the customs of Israel was we didn't cut our hair bald. Now, you're saying, well, this brother's bald. Well, he's naturally bald. All right, so it wasn't a custom just to do it. You know, you got hair and you just shaved everything off. Now, if you're bald, you're bald. That's God-given. You can't do nothing with that, right? But we didn't just do it. Like the fad they got these days, just shaving their head bald just to have their, head bald and then their beard. You know, they got that fad out now, but we didn't do that. The Egyptians did that custom. So coming out of Egypt, you got to remember a lot of these laws came about, first of all, because the Most High already knew what the Egyptians was about. So the Most High had laid the laws down to separate us from the other nations, to make a difference between us and the other nations. Okay, so a lot of these customs, man, where you shave the sides and then the hair pieces, and we need to get our signs here, man. Because we have, back in Houston, we got all our signs. But when you look at the Africans, the way they cut their hair, a lot of haircuts now come from Africans. It comes from the heathenistic nations. Now, we just went over that Baruch 3 just to show how that the Most High didn't give them the wisdom. You know, everything we did separated ourselves from the other nations. From the homosexuality, to the idolatry, to adultery, to how we wore our beards, to what we ate. Everything we do now in America is heathenistic customs. So we got to be mindful of that the laws was to separate us from that, and we're going to go to that. So read on.
They shall not make baldness upon their head.
Right.
Neither shall they shave off the corners of their beard.
Why? Because a lot of the Egyptian customs where they would shave the corners of their beard. And like we were telling the brothers, is that they would literally not only shave their beard, but cut into the skin. And that's why you see the cuts, the tribal marks, that comes from African nations, Egyptians, Ethiopians, the Shaka Zulu. That ain't us. We didn't do that. That's where you get the tattoos from, right? We didn't put tattoos. We didn't put markings in our skins. They did it a lot to the dead, right? Now, that's not saying, I know there's a lot of brothers that come in, got tattoos. You don't necessarily have to go get lasered and everything off your body. But just showing from here on out, we know that we didn't do that. We didn't do those things. All right, go ahead.
Nor make any cuttings in their flesh.
And I jumped a little bit ahead. I jumped a little bit ahead, but just to show us that we didn't make cuttings in our flesh, and that's what the tattoos are, cuttings in your flesh. Little abrasions that bleed, right? But that's how they put the ink in. That's why it stays in your flesh. So we didn't do that. What's the question?
So can we get mixed up and think for Ezekiel 5:1?
Right. That's Jamal, right? So need anything? Is that Jamal? So, excuse me. That's what the question is about tonight. The question is in Ezekiel 5:1. So you might have just turned on. So we're going over the law. Okay? So I'm going to read it again, and then we're going to go to Ezekiel 5:1. Because remember, the Bible doesn't contradict itself. Right?
Right.
The Bible don't contradict itself. So that means in the law, if it's telling us we're not supposed to do these things, it's not going to come back and tell us to do it. There's got to be some clarification going on with that verse in Ezekiel. Because the law is telling us here. Read it one more time.
This is Leviticus chapter 21 and verse 5.
Wow.
They shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corners of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh.
So, when you line your beard or line your hair, when they put that alcohol on your head, what it do? It burn like a mofo. Why? They cutting the skin. Now, I'm going to say it again. The Africans used to literally go cut not only the edges, but deeper into the skin.
Right.
So that's where that comes from. We didn't shave the edges. We didn't trim our edges like that to where it marred. And we're going to go there next. Let's go there. The one you just said.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 27.
Yeah, let's go there real quick. Go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your head.
So you were to round the corners of your hair. You get the bowl cut. You start trimming your hair unevenly. Now you're rounding the corners, right? Then you leave on top the piece, right? Go ahead.
Neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard.
Now I want you to look up the definition of mar. Look up mar. And this is going to answer your question. We're going to go to Ezekiel 5:1, but the reason why I went to the law first is, remember, God is not the author of confusion. So we're getting it clear that we don't supposed to round the corners, shave the corners, or mar the corners of our beards. All right. So what does mar mean?
Mar, to injure by cutting.
Right, to injure by cutting. Right? And they line that up. And what do? They put that alcohol on it and it burns. So you mar the corners of your beards. Go ahead.
Cutting off a part, or by wounding.
Or by what?
By wounding.
By wounding. You see? Go ahead.
And making defective.
Making it defective. So no, we don't mar the corners of our beards. They call it lining it today.
Mm-hmm.
Or your head, rounding the corners of your head. What else?
To injure, to hurt, to impair the strength,
right,
or purity of.
Right. So it's telling us plain, we didn't do that to our beards. Esau, the so-called white man, the Egyptians, they do those things. America took that from the Egyptians, aligning the beard, shaving the beard off. As Hebrew Israelites, the law says we were supposed to have our beards. We weren't supposed to mar them. We weren't supposed to shave them. We weren't supposed to do that. Yeah, what you got?
Just on that part, it says to impair the strength or purity of. So when you look at the male lion,
Right.
when you look at the male lion, his major defense is his mane. If he didn't have his mane, when he's fighting other animals, and
He's trying to get to the skin.
right. And when you look at the man, when we were in the wilderness, that beard, it protected a lot. It protects our chest,
Right.
our neck, our face.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, then at some point, yeah. You don't really grow it? That's natural. Like I said, the scripture said don't be bald, but he's naturally bald. It's one thing to cut your hair bald as opposed to nature just gave you. I know a lot of brothers like that, like the tribe of Gad, Indians. They don't grow beards. Like my brother, he just don't grow a beard. He just little specks and that's it. It's not. I mean, you can't do nothing about that. You'll see that? But what you do have, you weren't supposed to like just chop it off. All right. So let's go to Ezekiel 5:1.
Go.
So this is where the question is. Now that we know the law, we can see that the law plainly said not to do this, not to cut off our beards, not to mar our beards. Right? That was not our custom. So where does Ezekiel 5 come in? Go to Ezekiel 5.
Go.
Go ahead and read verse 1, and we're going to read down in here. Why are we going to read down? So we can understand context of what is going on here. Because I think that's the problem with this chapter, is that you kind of don't understand really what's going on in the chapter, the whole full chapter, to understand the first verse. Go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 5 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
And thou, son of man, take thee a sharp knife, take thee a barber's razor,
Right.
and cause it to pass upon thy head,
Right.
and upon thy beard.
Right. So he's telling them to do something that's out of character. Like another thing out of character is walking around with no clothes on, right?
Right.
But do you know the Most High had them do that also? The Most High had a prophet do that also. To do what? To mock Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Then he had the prophet, I think it was Isaiah, cook with dung,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Cook with dung, because they used to use the cow dung, huh? For fire. You would cook with that to get the fire, right? But he had to use, he was going to have them use humans dung, but he said, nah, you know what? Use cow dung. Because the prophet asked him, he said, and give me those two right there. That way we can understand what's going on here. Because he's not telling Ezekiel, hey, go be out of order and break the law, be a disrespectful, disobedient person to the law. No, the Most High is telling them this for a reason. He's not giving us a commandment like all the children of Israel, y'all go do this. This was something specific to Ezekiel for a reason. He's going to tell us the reason. Go ahead.
Then take the balances to weigh.
He said, read it from the top, read it again so we can understand what we're talking about. Go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 5 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And thou, son of man, take thee a sharp knife, take thee a barber's razor,
Mm-hmm.
and cause it to pass upon thy head,
Right?
and upon thy beard.
Right?
Then take the balances to weigh, and divide the head.
Right?
Thou shalt burn with fire a third part in the midst of the city.
Right. So do we just burn? Think about that. Do we burn our hair? No. You see, this whole thing he's doing here was for a reason, to show something. He's going to tell us. We didn't necessarily cut our beards off. We didn't chop our heads off bald, unless it was natural, right?
That's right.
Go ahead.
When the days of the siege are fulfilled,
Right?
and thou shalt take a third part and smite about it
Uh-huh.
with a knife.
Right. So he said you're going to take his hair and you're going to smite the hair with a knife. Go ahead.
And a third part thou shalt scatter in the wind, and I will draw out a sword after them.
Right. So this is what was going to happen to the Israelites. This was symbolic, and he was telling the priest this symbolic gesture of cutting his hair, taking the third part of it, hitting it with a knife was going to be what was going to happen to the Israelites. So this is nothing to do with, oh, now you can cut your hair and break the law. You can shave off all your beard or line your beard. Because we just read in the law where it said not to do it.
Right.
Y'all get that? Right. And I'm going to show you further in Ezekiel to show you that if you think about it like that, then the Bible in itself will contradict itself. Because what he's going to say further in Ezekiel. Go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 3. Thou shalt also take thereof a few in number, and bind them in thy skirts.
Right?
Then take up them again, and cast them into the midst of the fire,
Right?
and burn them in the fire.
Right. You see that? You see how it had nothing to do necessarily with the hair? This was symbolic. The Bible speaks in prophetically, symbolically, and historically. If you don't understand that, then you won't understand in Genesis when it says there was a snake, a serpent. You won't understand that it wasn't the actual snake. you don't understand how the Bible speaks. And the Bible breaks down itself that it was symbolism. Because Paul comes back and tells you that even Satan himself has transformed into an angel of light. Showing you that it wasn't a serpent. It wasn't an actual snake. But you wouldn't know that if you don't understand that those concepts of the Bible. So what he's doing here is symbolism that was going to happen to a third of Israel. 1/3 of the Israelites was going to be burnt up and destroyed. The funny thing is, that's the same thing that's happening here in Ezekiel, was the same thing that's going to happen in the end times. But by reverse. 2/3 was going to be burnt up, 1/3 was going to be saved. Okay? Now for y'all just coming in, there's a question the brother had in Ezekiel 5 about us cutting our hair. Ezekiel 5:1. So we're going over the chapter to understand that this necessarily didn't have nothing with cutting of the hair, but it was more so symbolism of what was going to happen to the Israelites. We went first to the law to show in Leviticus that the law said for us not to do this to our beard, chop it off, mar the corners of things of that nature. All right? So read on.
Ezekiel chapter 5 and verse 4.
Uh-huh.
Then take up them again and cast them into the midst of the fire.
Go ahead.
And burn them in the fire, for thereof shall a fire come forth into all the house of Israel.
Right. So you see that? That's what that was symbolic of. It didn't have nothing to do with hair. Now I'm going to show you. Let's go to Ezekiel 44. Go to Ezekiel 44 verse 15. Because he comes back and tells him, don't cut your hair. That the priest is not supposed to cut their hair. He comes back and tells them. So remember, Ezekiel was a prophet. He wasn't going to tell them to break the law. The Most High wasn't telling Ezekiel to break the law. He was telling them, you're going to do this to show forth what is going to happen to the Israelites. So go from there, Ezekiel 44 verse 15.
Ezekiel chapter 44 and verse 15.
Right, Ezekiel 44, 15. So we're answering questions like we always do in the beginning of class. And if y'all have any questions after this one, shoot them, and we'll get to any questions y'all have, okay? Read that.
But the priests, the Levites, the sons of S.O.W,
Right.
that had the charge of my sanctuary, when the children of Israel went astray from me,
Right.
they shall come near to me to minister unto me.
Right, so he's rededicating the priests. He's saying Israelites went off, but I want these priests to come back and serve right. Go ahead.
And they shall stand before me to offer unto me the fat and the blood,
Right.
saith the Lord God.
Right, because at that time, we actually did animal sacrifice. We know we don't do that now because Christ was the last sacrifice. We don't need animals. For one time, Yahushua sacrificed himself. Go ahead.
Verse 16. They shall enter into my sanctuary,
Right.
and they shall come near to my table
Read.
to minister unto me.
Right, because that's what he wanted the priest to do. To come back and start following the priesthood the correct way. Go ahead.
And they shall keep my charge. And it shall come to pass that when they enter in at the gates of the inner court,
Meaning that if they were going to come be priests and come before the Most High, go ahead.
they shall be clothed with linen garments, and no wool shall come upon them.
Right, because this is the same thing it says in the law. It's going to tell us why linen garments, though. It's the same thing it says in the law. When you go to Exodus, the priests were supposed to dress. He dealt with the finest clothes, but it was a reason. It wasn't to be pretty, to be fancy, right? It was a reason. Go ahead.
While they minister in the gates of the inner court,
Read.
and within,
Read.
they shall have linen garments upon their head,
Read.
and shall have linen breeches upon their loins.
Right, so everything was they had the linen, right? Because it was, your body can breathe easier with linen. You understand? Like certain cottons, wool. Like think about having wool right now. You be burning the hell up, right? You'll be sweating profusely. So this is where we're going to see why he gave the priests an order. I don't supposed to be up here sweating profusely, right? It wasn't supposed to be like that, especially in those days. Why? Because you're sacrificing all the animals. You're doing all this sacrifice, and then next you know, you're messing with these animals. You're touching yourself, right? This is diseases go around, illnesses, sicknesses. So how do we keep them clean? You have to be clean by doing all these things. Then you're praying over people. You're in the sanctuary. It be COVID times 20, right? It be mad cow disease times 1,000. So what he was telling them to do was going to keep them clean physically, right? Keep disease away from the sanctuary, from the people. That's why there's diseases now. Because when you look at those Chinese markets, you do the research on the the mad cow disease, or what was the other one before COVID?
You got the swine flu.
The swine flu. Yeah, when you look at the swine flu, it's because they got all these animals that are swatting, basically.
It's back.
Huh?
Swine flu is back.
Yeah, they got all these animals, and then they eat these defiled animals, right? They don't clean the areas. They had to go recently, once again, in Wuhan and shut down another market because they were still doing these things. But when they went in with all these protective gear because it was filthy. It was disgusting. So these nations first of all, they eat anything. So when the laws came back and told us don't eat pork, shrimp, crabs, lobsters, snakes, rattlesnakes, roadkill, vultures,
possums,
yeah. Right?
Gosh.
No, deer's lawful. Deer's lawful because a deer eats clean things. So deer is lawful. It's not a defiled animal.
You don't eat giraffe though. You can't eat.
You don't eat giraffes, right? Now a deer ain't remember all the animals that really we were not to eat were scavengers and that meat eaters, right? When you look at deer, if another deer is dead, a deer ain't gonna go over there and eat that deer. A pig will. A vulture will come down and eat that dead food, right? So a lot of the foods we were not to eat were for that reason. But they're eating those foods that eat another dead animal and then wonder why swine flu, COVID, all these things because it comes from bats and different animals. So I'm just going into the law in these different instances why the priests had to dress right, why we as Israelites had to eat the right things, serve the only one true power. Because all the other nations, they had you serving Buddha. They had you the Hindu god, right? The Egyptians, they served all kind of gods, the sun, the moon, the stars, right? And then in America did what? Adopted all of that.
All of it.
You serve Christmas more than you serve the actual Son of God. You serve the tree more than you serve the Son of God. You will Easter egg hunt your butt off. But that ain't got nothing to do with Christ. So they put all these in. You will worship Mary, the mother of God, the mother of Christ, more than you would worship the Son. That's because the heathens indoctrinated and put all this, not in the Bible, because it ain't in the Bible to worship none of those things, but religion. So that's why you got to study. Yes, sir. Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. Romans chapter 1 and verse 25.
Let's go there real quick.
Just on what he's talking about.
And then we're going to go back. We're not done with this question.
Romans chapter 1 and verse 25. Shalom. Go ahead.
Romans chapter 1 and verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
It's starting off with a question. He's asking you, who changed the truth of God into a lie? Look at it. You know who he is. It's Esau. He changed the truth of the Most High into a lie. How? By getting you to go. I don't even want to jump. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And worship and serve the creature more than the creator. Creator.
Right, so he's got you out here worshiping the Christmas tree, Easter, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, the day of solstice, the Halloween, or you want to call it Hallelujah night. He's got you out here worshiping every form of creature instead of the Most High. Go ahead.
Who is blessed forever, Amen.
That was it on that. You can go back. But yeah, when you look at it, Esau got you out here worshiping all these different idols and all these different types of creatures instead of worshiping the Creator, the Most High,
Right.
like you're supposed to.
So, getting back on the point, we're talking about his clothes, right? We're going to get to this hair thing. But I wanted to read it in context so y'all can understand what he's talking about. He's talking about the priests coming back, how they were supposed to dress, how they were supposed to represent themselves, right? Okay. Now, so we understand how our hair was done, right? Go ahead, read on.
Ezekiel chapter 44 and verse 18.
Uh-huh.
They shall have linen bonnets upon their head.
Right, so it's okay to wear headbands. It's okay to wear headpieces. We just didn't cover the top of our head. All right? When we prayed and prophesied, this center has to be open. So that means the Roman Catholic Church got it wrong. They cover this. The so-called Jews got it wrong. They cover this. This is supposed to be uncovered. Right? Go ahead.
And shall have linen breeches upon their loins.
Go ahead.
They shall not gird themselves with anything that causes sweat.
You see that? It's practical, man. It's practical. You weren't going to wear anything that had you sweating profusely doing the will of the Most High. You had too much. You had too much. You were around too many people. Go ahead.
And when they go forth into the other court, even into the other court to the people,
right?
They shall put off their garments wherein they minister.
Right. So you would switch out your garments. You see that? You wouldn't have the same garments on. You're back sacrificing animals. You will go to the next court and you would switch your garment. The Most High was about cleanliness. He was about being clean. Just like most of our people are, but what happened? We got lazy. We depend on the white man and your mama every time, and your room, your house looks like, you know what I mean? You know how that dirt stacks up? I hate that dirt. That dirt, you can tell you ain't wiped down your stuff, but you go in and just, you got to make sure that's clean. You got to make sure the toilet's clean. We had to tell the brother the other day, a lot of young cats come in and they don't know how to be clean. Your toilet bowl, your shower, the brother's shower looked like he killed a dead body in there. That ain't Christ-like. Wow. You can't be the Most High, bro. Then you brought women over there. Are you serious? That's disgusting. But remember, we come from the world. We don't understand how this is being righteous. We think, well, that's me. That's just how I roll. Nah, you got to pay attention to that. You better have your woman over there cleaning that up. That's filthy. Right? So the Most High is about cleanliness. Go ahead.
And lay them in the holy chambers, and they shall put on other garments, and they shall not sanctify the people with their garments.
Right. Go ahead.
Neither shall they shave their head.
Wait a minute. Read it again.
Neither shall they shave their head.
They should what?
Neither shall they shave their head.
So this is not different from the scriptures. We didn't shave all of our hair off. It said the same thing. Don't shave your hair all the way off. We didn't, in the law, they told us not to do that. Go ahead.
Nor suffer their locks to grow long.
Right. No, so what does that mean? That means that your hair was at a good length. Your hair wasn't supposed to grow long like a woman. It wasn't supposed to be that long. And now, yeah, my hair is long, right? Sure. But a woman's hair was all the way back down. You know how those Indian women you get all your fake hair from? How their hair be all the way back behind their leg? We weren't supposed to do that. Our hair was supposed to be able, if I look in the back of you, I would be able to tell the difference between a woman or a man. Not like, whoa, it's not now they got skinny jeans and you got the skinny jeans And then you can't tell from the back if that's a man or a woman. It was supposed to be like that.
Right.
So your hair wasn't supposed to be shaved off, nor was it supposed to be too long. So just like we told the brother, you can trim your hair. You can have short hair. You don't got to have long hair. But at the same time, you weren't supposed to be bald. All right? Unless it's, gotta say it, because they're going to, well, what about the brother there? He's naturally bald.
God.
All right?
God.
The Lord is going to bless that when he get back. Go ahead.
They shall only hold.
They shall what?
They shall only hold.
They shall only what?
Hold.
Now, what does pole mean? Let's look at this. We are able to pull our hair. I'm gonna get the definition. I know it, but I'm gonna read it better. Go ahead.
It says, pull the head of a person's, or the back part of the head, and in composition applied to the head.
No. Give me a basic. You're going too deep into that. Let's get it like a Google definition. He's using one of those our old dictionaries, which usually gives deeper definitions, but we want something basic so they can understand. What does it mean to pull your hair? Oh, it was down where you were reading? Number one?
Oh,
Go ahead.
To cut off the ends.
Right. So we trimmed our hair. There's nothing wrong with that. You see that? Because you weren't going to let it grow like a woman, and you weren't going to chop it off. You were going to trim it, and it was okay. Y'all get that? So you weren't supposed to be shaved. Shaved meaning bald, or you weren't supposed to be to where it's too long. So just showing you that when you go back to Ezekiel 5, Ezekiel 5 was based on, I want you to show the Hebrew Israelites, what were they going to go through as a nation. So you're going to cut it, and then you're going to burn it. Like, think about it. That's not a custom of us. We didn't cut our hair and burn it. No, that was just symbolic meaning what was going to happen to the Israelites. Ezekiel 5. Yeah.
Also got one in 2 Samuel chapter.
Go ahead.
Chapter 10 and verse 15.
I ain't good.
To show you, because what happened when Israel did have if they did have their beard marred or their hair cut bald or in a fashion that wasn't according to the scriptures. 2 Samuel chapter 10 and start at verse 1. Let's get a little backstory to get some understanding. Go ahead.
2 Samuel chapter 10 and verse 1. And it came to pass after this, that the king of the children of Ammon died, and Hanan his son reigned in his stead.
So you had this king in Ammon, in the land of Ammon. He had died, and so his son became the next in line for king. Go ahead.
Then said David, I will show kindness unto Hanan the son of Nahash, as his father showed kindness unto me. So
David wanted to repay this young man who's now king because of the kindness that his father showed him during the time period that David was on the run from Saul. Okay, so that's a good custom. That's something we always did. We always repaid our people, even outside of our nation, other people, with kindness. Go ahead.
And David's son, to comfort him by the hand of his servants for his father. So
I'm gonna go ahead. So David's like in the mind state, you know what? This guy showed me some kindness. Let me send two of my servants over there to see if he needs anything to take care of him in his time of need. Go ahead.
And David's servants came to the land of the children of Ammon.
Read.
And the princes of the children of Ammon said unto Hanan, Your Lord, thinkest thou that David doth honor thy father, that he had sent comforters unto me? So they're posing this question inside the king's mind. Do you think he really came to bring those servants over to comfort? Or, go ahead. Had not David rather sent his servants unto thee to search the city and spy out? So now they're trying to put this ill bug in this king's ear as opposed to like, okay, maybe he didn't send them over to comfort, but really he sent these men over to spy out our liberty. Because you know David's a warrior. He's a man of war. This man be conquering
countries, nations. So maybe he really didn't bring them over to comfort us. Maybe he sees that we're in a time of weakness. Maybe he's trying to spy out our liberties. So they posed this mind to the king, this bug, this idea. Go ahead.
And to overthrow it? Wherefore Hanan took David's servants and shaved off the one half of their beard.
So what did Hanan do? He didn't repay David's servants with kindness. He disrespected them. Hanan understood the custom of Israel. And what did he do?
Shaved off the one half of their beard.
So he's cutting them naked. He made them naked on his face.
That was basically mockery.
Good.
So it's showing that when we didn't have our beards, it was disrespectful. So the kings would do that. They would. Why do you think? What did they do to Yahushua? They pulled out his beard. Why? Because obviously it hurt. But it was also disrespect to us because we knew that a man had a beard. Man wore his beard. And that's not saying if you naturally don't got a beard, you're not a man. What it's saying is that this is what we as a nation, right, how our custom was, all right? So, because like I said, I know a lot of brothers, family members, brother that been in the truth for 30 years, he just can't grow a beard. Kawaka, out there in Guatemala, don't grow a beard. Don't grow a beard.
Yeah.
You know, these are they call Native American brothers, but they like real Native Americans, dark like you. You know what I mean? You know, but they can't grow a beard. It's just some tribes are like that. All right?
Go ahead and finish that.
And shaved off the one half of their beards and took off their garments in the middle.
Right. So this king disrespected David's servants. Go ahead.
Even to their buttocks, and swept them away.
So then they even cut off half of their garments to where their butts were showing, where they were half naked, butt out. Go ahead.
When they told it unto David, he sought to meet them, because the men were greatly ashamed.
So you had these men coming back shamefaced because this king, they came over with the intentions of being a servant to the king to help, right? And now they feel ashamed because they got disrespected. Go ahead.
And the king said, tarry at Jericho until your beards be grown, and then return. So
he wouldn't show shame upon the rest of Israel by these men coming into Jerusalem like this. So he said, you know what? Tarry into Jericho until the time appointed when your beard's fully grown, and then you can come back into the city. That's how you know Israel didn't mar, and we didn't mark and mar our beards and our heads.
You can even come back into your beard was fully grown.
Right.
Yeah, you'd be set outside. But once again, these are heathenistic customs that the white man likes. The white man loves little boys. They like boys. So to them, they want them nice and trim, right? They want us to look like a boy. That's why they used to call us boy. Right? Mm-hmm. And they want you to look like a little boy because they got those homosexual tendencies. All right? So, listen. Hit me back. Let me know if that helped you out. Because I'm not sure. What was the name that asked the question online too? It was Jamal. Okay, all right, yeah. So, yeah, Jamal, we started out with answering your question. So, remember that Ezekiel was something that was dealt with symbolism that the Most High was telling Ezekiel Ezekiel 44, you see it because when he came back and told the priests how they were really to look, it wasn't like, hey, you can shave your beard off, you can shave your head off, you can be bald, nah, it wasn't like that. There was a proper way you were going to be a priest. Us as Hebrew Israelites, according to Leviticus, we had a law on how to look. We're going to say it, and I'm going to keep saying it. When the scriptures say, put off the old man, a lot of us don't understand that a lot of things that America has taught us is not our customs. You grew up as a heathen. We grew up as heathens. These are not our customs. We didn't dress like them. We didn't talk like them. We didn't act like them. We didn't celebrate their days. We didn't have nothing to do with these nations. We were different. But we don't know that because what happened? You grew up American, you think what? You think you're an American. You think, oh, this is what I am. We're not Americans. This is not what we are. We're the chosen people, but we got to start putting on the chosen ways again. All right? So hit me up, Jamal. Text me. Let me know if that was sufficient, if you understand what we went over. All right? Where's that at?
Isaiah 22.
Right. And then where's the other one?
Ezekiel 4:15.
Good. So go to, and did we have any other questions on there? We did? Okay, go to Ezekiel really quick. 20 and 2?
No, Isaiah. That's
Isaiah, I'm sorry, Isaiah 20 verse 2. And this is going to be just further edifying that there was moments like this in the Bible where he said, do that, burn the hair, chop it up. That there was other moments like that where we did things symbolically to represent what we were going to go through as a nation. All right? This is Isaiah, right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 20 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
At the same time, spake the Lord by Isaiah the son of Amos.
You gotta read loud. The boy can't be louder than you. You gotta read with some power. Let's go. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 20 and verse 2. At the same time, spake the Lord by Isaiah the son of Amos.
Right?
Saying, go and loose the sackcloth from off thy loins, and put off thy shoe from thy foot.
Go ahead.
And he did so, walking naked and barefoot.
Right. So you see that? The Most High is like, you're going to take off the sackcloth and you're going to walk around naked to where they see your chonies, right? They see your drawers. Why though? Read.
And the Lord said, like as my servant Isaiah had walked naked and barefoot 3 years for a sign and wonder upon Egypt.
Do you see that? So we don't just walk around. Look, you can't. This is why you got to understand the Bible in its entirety, because if not, you're going to do like Christianity, read one scripture and then run with it. You got to go to all the pieces of the puzzle to be able to say, oh, okay, this is why it said it there. Because why? That Ezekiel 25 would be different from the law. It would be going from what we read in the law. So it can't go from the law because Christ didn't do away with the law. The prophets upheld the law. So we got to get an understanding why that moment the Most High told him he was going to do that. Even now, did the Most High want us to walk around butt naked? No, but he was saying you're going to do it as a sign. Because what's going to get their eyes open? Something crazy, right? Like Negroes on the corner, right? With armbands, headbands, tassels hanging from their shirt, screaming about the Bible. That to people, they're like, you niggas are crazy. What y'all doing out here in the street like this? It's a sign, right? So they can say, whoa, oh man, let me stop over there. Let me see what they're talking about. So this is what a lot of the prophets did to show what was going to happen to the other nations. All right, so that's one where Isaiah walked around naked, and then what's the other one? Ezekiel what?
Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 15. You want to start at verse 7 though.
Go ahead and read that.
Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 7.
Therefore thou shalt set thy face toward the siege of Jerusalem, and thine arm shall be uncovered, and thou shalt prophesy against it.
Right?
And behold, I will lay bands upon you, and thou shalt turn from one side to another.
So, you can go and read the whole story, but what happened is he had to lay a certain way. Man, y'all got to understand, This is why, if we do get a chance to go into tonight's topic, you got to understand, if God put the prophets through all these things, where they were stoned, killed, sawed in half, head chopped off, heads being chopped off, you think you're going to come to the Most High and it's going to be easy? You got to understand, this ride ain't like in the beginning. In the beginning, when we were here in the beginning, what happened? You were in paradise. You had everything. This ain't this ride. Now you're going to have to work for the kingdom. You're going to have to work for righteousness. So what happens? The Most High wants you to give up all the old ways, all your old ideas. But my mama told me, my daddy told me, if mama and daddy ain't tell you what was in the scriptures, you better take that out in a little bag, put it in the bag, zip her up, throw that bag out. Because you know why? It ain't worth nothing. What Oprah said, Will Smith, you finding out what? The entanglement. You don't need to be entangled with the entanglement.
Right.
Let Will Smith go. Oprah go. Right? Your auntie go. You got to let all the old mind go and find out what the Most High said do. Okay, go ahead.
And thou shalt prophesy against it.
Right?
So this was a prophecy against Israel. He was showing you, I just had you read it right here, just to show this is the prophecy that he did in symbolic towards Israel.
Uh-huh.
So jump down to verse 10.
Come. And thy meat which thou shalt eat shall be thy weight. 20 shekels a day from time to time shalt thou eat it.
So when he came back and told him, if you read down, it was all these specific things he was going to do. And guess what? He didn't complain. Man, Yahweh, why you... That's what I'm saying. So I got to do all this to be accepted? Most High would have smacked him upside his head. This is not a religion. Church, you can come in and play around. Right? You can go every Sunday and give your arms, be a faggot, be a lesbian, be a transvestite, a switch hitter, a bullet dyke, a backside thief. Right? You can do all that. Most High is not playing with that. That's why they're worshiping a Christmas tree, worshiping false holidays. Think about all the religions, all the Bible teaching, and our people are still confused. They still don't know their identity. They still don't know how to serve Christ the right way. Why? Because the churches are, that's going to save your soul. All the hoopla, playing around, playing like you believe now, the Most High knows your heart. You don't want none of that. You don't want it. You talk about it all the time, and I say it all the time, and I've been saying it. You talk about Christianity, how fake they are. They're phony. Religion is fake and phony. Do not come in here doing the same thing. Don't come in here doing the same thing, thinking that, oh, you're not going to get your feelings hurt. You're supposed to, because a lot of niggerisms that you uphold is from the old way. And a lot of times you don't want to let them go. The adultery, right? The fornication, the thieving, the robbing, the murdering, the dope dealing, the women being prideful as hell, the men being prideful as hell, right? We got to understand that we got to clean up. That's what's going to save your spirit. That's what's going to protect you as this death swings through America and through the world. The only thing that is going to protect you is righteousness. I'll show you that too, but read on in here. Let's finish this.
Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 11.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt drink also water by Esdras, the sixth part of in him.
Right, and he goes down and tells you. You guys got the gist of it. You can always go back and read down.
Jump to verse 15.
He's giving him specifics of what he's supposed to be doing, right? And he gives him all these little nuances of like, you're going to do it this way, you're going to do it this way, and it was all to show Israel something. Now he jumps down to verse 15 and says what?
Then it said unto me, Lord, I have given thee cow's dung for man's dung.
Right, so jump up, hold on. Where are we at? Ezekiel what?
4 and verse 15.
Verse 13.
You're going to read, let's kind of get a little bit of here so you can understand what's going on. You're Ezekiel 4, verse, and you're at 15, right? So, okay, verse 9, read that.
Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 9. Take thou also unto thee wheat, and barley, and beans, and lentils, and millet, and pitches, and put them in one vessel,
Right?
and make thee bread thereof,
So he wanted him to make bread. Read.
according to the number of the days that thou shalt lie upon thy side.
Go ahead.
390 days.
So he had him laying on his side 390 days. It's called humility. That's why you gotta come in, you gotta stop smoking weed. You're like, man, I don't know how I can do that. Like, bye. If you can't get that up for the kingdom, bye. Right? You can't give up drinking belligerently, clubbing. Bye. Go back to church, because that's where you need to be at. You got to understand the Most High is changing you. To be changed is going to take work. It's going to take you letting go of your pride. Ezekiel ain't had no pride. He wanted to make it to not only the kingdom on earth, but the spiritual kingdom in heaven. He wasn't worried about what people thought or how they feel. The Most High was still dealing with him. So if he said lay on his side for 390 days, 390 days? Bro. But he was moving though. If you read up, I think he was moving from side to side when allotted, but he was given specifics. Humility. Sisters gotta cook their husband a meal, then they start losing it. Right? You gotta wear a dress, you start losing it. You ever got your head chopped off? Well, John the Baptist did for the Most High. You understand that? Isaiah was sawed in half. John the Revelator was crucified upside down. You understand? These men died for righteousness, doing the will of the Most High. Y'all, we're not giving up nothing. We're not doing, bruh. The hanging around with worldly people, being confused, having to do drugs and dope to make it every day, having the anxiety, the pill popping, the scissor popping. You trying to tell me that you missing that? You got to see that the Most High. What is that? If you can't see why to let that go, then you deserve that. Go by your heart's desire. But if you want righteousness, man, and you want change in your life, and you don't want your kids to be the pill popping, dope, scissor sipping, then it got to start with your example. Starts with you, man. Right? Black Lives Matter. Right?
Starts in the house.
Black Lives Matter. They come with all that madness. It starts here. It starts now. That's how Black Lives Matter. Come on, read.
390 days.
Go ahead.
Eat thereof.
Read.
Thou shalt eat, shall be by weight.
Read.
20 shekels a day.
Right?
From time to time shalt thou eat it. Thou shalt drink also water by measure.
Right?
The sixth part of an hin. From time to time shalt thou drink.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt eat it as barley cakes. And thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of man.
So he wanted to show how defiled Israel was. He said, you're going to cook this with man's dung. Doo-doo. Dookie. But they were using this as a, what's the word? Huh? Like as a fire, but and they were using the ethanol. Excuse me. There you go, the methane. The word was right there. They were using the methane to cook this. But now, even though you're not eating the dung, imagine burning dung right here in the middle of us. So look at what Ezekiel says though, because he's staying humble, but look, he does speak up though. Watch, read.
And thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of man.
Now let's go says in Ezekiel 4 about the hair cutting, right? It wasn't because that's what he wanted the nation to do. It was symbolism. He didn't want the whole nation to sleep on their side, to go ahead and eat a certain amount. It wasn't like that. This was what the prophets were doing to mock and correct Israel. So when he had him walking around butt naked, it wasn't because it was like, oh yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. That's why I say you can pull one scripture and be like, look, we was walking around butt naked. Like, we can pull that like the prophets did it. You're like, huh? No. That's not what he did it for. He walked around butt naked to mock and show how filthy we were as a nation. All right? So this is what's happening. So check this out. Read on.
And thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of man.
Right?
In their sight. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles.
So you know what he said? Just like you hear now in America, you eat all the defiled foods. This is what Ezekiel was doing to mock you. You sit there, they be lined up at the crawfish. Oh man, you should see them in Houston, y'all. I don't know how deep it is out here, but in H-Town, that's a thing. Like a plate of nothing but damn bugs on it. Big ass crabs. I like, every time I look at it, you eat a damn plate of bugs. All bottom feeders. Doo-doo eaters. They eat all the doo-doo in the water. And you eat that. But our people up there sitting up there like, look, the white man said it's an hors d'oeuvre. We eating good, nigga. Like, stop it. The white man will eat the cow's asshole. And then talk about, look, it's the next best thing. Escargot?
Rocky Mountain oysters.
Oysters? Yeah, that's...
I thought they said that it does something for a man, like it boosts something.
Huh?
The Rocky Mountain
Oysters?
The Rocky Mountain the bull's penis.
Bull's penis.
Yeah, Rocky Mountain oysters.
So you eat bull nuts, but it's a hors d'oeuvre.
They call them Rocky Mountain oysters.
Right. Bull nuts. Yeah, but what our people do? You see the white man doing, you what? That's how you eat. No, that's exactly what you stay away from. You don't forget about what's the name that ate all the black people back in the day? Jeffrey Dahmer. The white man will eat you. You know, this is the thing that we have to understand. That the Most High made us God. So y'all see, this is not something we just all did. Cook with human dung. That's not what we did. But watch, read on. Come on.
And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles.
Right.
Whither I will drive them.
Right.
Then said I, Lord God, behold, my soul had not been polluted.
You see that? He's pleading with the Most High. He's like, Yahweh, I ain't never ate nothing filthy in my life, Yahweh. my soul, Lord, ain't never been polluted. I mean, which one of us wouldn't plead to the Most High? You gotta cook your food with human doo-doo? You'd be like, Yahweh, please, is this real? I'm a righteous man, right? Go ahead.
My soul had not been polluted.
Right?
For from my youth up, even to now have I not eaten of that which died of itself.
You know what he was saying? I kept the laws. I wasn't just, they do that a lot in these rural countries, man. Rural kids. You know what I mean? They eat all these foods that's just defiled from the road. He's like, listen, I kept the laws. I ain't never eaten anything that died. I mean, now you see how he's related, like, I mean, cook with human dung. Go ahead.
Or is torn in pieces.
Go ahead.
Neither came there abominable flesh into my mouth.
You see that? Neither has anything in my mouth No crawfish, shrimp, crab, lobster, oysters, caviar, right? Chitlins. Huh? You want to eat everything out of damn pig. Pig ears, pig butt, pig feet, pickle pig. Right? That's all the things the white man gave us in slavery. The most defiled things. And now you're talking about, oh, this is soul food. Like, Negro, please. I seen this one video about black businesses, and I was doing this business YouTube video we did, and he was like, yeah, we want to show people how we eat. Like, what? All defiled things that the white man just threw out to the slaves. Slop. No, we didn't eat those things. Come on.
Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 15.
Go ahead.
Then he said unto me,
Right?
Lo, I have given thee cow's dung for man's dung.
So he heard his petition, but that's still doo-doo though. To mock and to show how filthy Israel was, he was like, okay, I got you on that, but you're going to do it with cow dung. Humility. These men of the scriptures, man, were not these cocky-ass basketball players. You know what I mean? Not these cocky movie stars. Not these cocky rappers. Right? The Most High was dealing with humble men, meek women that were understanding the will of the Most High. And that's, I mean, if you go and read the story, you will see how humble Ezekiel was. But the point of going here, remember, is just to show there was instances where we did symbolic things to, and that was one of the instances in Ezekiel 5. It didn't have nothing to do with now you can just cut your hair off or cut your hair weird. Nah. All right. So hopefully that helped the brother out. What else do we got? We got another question on there. Let Ariel read it real quick because I'll be able to hear him. Got any other questions? And if y'all got any questions, you know the deal. We go. All right. You got anything to shoot? What we got? Don't answer the questions. Put the question. So they can know that. What's the question?
It says, Kazakia, can you go in a bit more on Satan doing his job in relation to tempting Eve in the garden? Also, your thoughts on Eve and not Adam would also be most welcome. Thank you, sir.
I gotta get this brother because his YouTube name is Umbrella Corporation Move On Facility. Yeah, I want to go in on that, and I got the text, but we got so many new people. I want to kind of start with the basics before we jump right to a little bit of the meat. So bear with me. Now, if you can't wait, I'll go ahead and have her find the link, because we've been over that many of times, and I'll throw you the link, all right? I'll have the sister find the link, and she'll throw it in there, all right? But right now, we're trying to get, like, these big, like, just think about where the questions that are coming up. It doesn't mean nobody's slow. It doesn't mean you're less of a person. We're getting questions about hair. That's a basic understanding that Israel needs. So we're getting new people that need these basics first, like the scriptures say, and then we can move to a little bit further up. So I don't want to jump right into that as of yet, all right? But what I'll have her do is go in, throw the link in, because we've been over Adam and Eve. We've been over that real hardcore. And we're going to go over it again. I just want to give these basic questions a little bit more time, all right? All right, what else we got?
He's continuing in that question.
Yeah.
Also.
Well, he heard that.
Okay.
What else we got? What other?
Question.
Yeah.
This is my question. How does the godly people get in the office to make godly decisions? If the godly people...
Say it again.
My question, this is my question. How does the godly people get in office to make godly decisions if the godly people will not put them in that position? This system is corrupt because the wicked is voting to put the wicked into power. In 2016, 58 million so-called godly folks refused to vote. I hope my voice will get one righteous person in office so the Most High would not destroy the city.
Okay. Whew. I love that question. All right. This is a good one because it's easy. You got to understand that this is not our kingdom. So, no, there ain't going to be no godly person. Let's just play with this. Do you think there's going to be a Hebrew Israelite? When you say godly, like someone that will uphold the laws, right? Go to Matthew's. Give me Matthew 6 and 9. We're going to go through this real quick. So when we say godly, right? When we say righteous man, righteous woman, someone that will uphold the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and laws of the Most High, right? That will set the laws up of God in the earth, right? Right? So read this, Matthew 6 and 9.
Matthew chapter 6 and verse 9.
And you all know this. Y'all already know this scripture. Watch when he reads. Go ahead.
After this manner, therefore, pray ye,
Uh-huh.
our Father which art in heaven,
Right?
hallowed be thy name.
Right. Holy is his name. Go ahead.
Thy kingdom come.
Now listen to this point right here. We pray it all the time, but we don't understand it. Thy kingdom come. But what has to happen for his kingdom to come? Go ahead.
Thy will be done in earth.
What?
Thy will be done in earth.
What has to happen to the earth?
Thy will be done in earth.
No, his will only has to be done by ISBHPK,
Thy will be done in earth.
by IUIC,
In earth.
by all the parents.
In earth.
So God's will has to be done by us or in earth. What we don't understand is the will of God has got to be done in the earth for righteousness to be set up in earth. You think they're ever going to let a Hebrew Israelite man go up there and tell them, okay, whoo! Oh, damn, we made it, huh? Now that we here, listen, first of all, let's go to Leviticus. I've been waiting for this one. 2013. If a man also lie with mankind as he lied for woman, both of them have committed an abomination, they shall surely be put to death. So all homosexuality has to stop from here on out. Rule number 1, all right? First of all, around you going to pick you up, take you out, and throw you on a staff. Well, how about this one? All right, y'all. Woo! I've been waiting to get here, y'all. We finally made it, brothers. Shalom, sisters. Shalom. I see y'all there. Right? First rule of order. Right? We're not charging anybody for natural resources that is God-given. Like water, air. How you going to charge somebody? How you going to charge somebody to breathe? What are they going to do? What the problem is here, and you might, no disrespect, let me say that first, but you might be new, that this is not our kingdom. This reign, the rulership that's here on this earth, is given into the hand of the wicked. Why? To show the righteous on how we are supposed to be and serve God in his kingdom. We're going to get there. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth, but it has to be taken by force. You think the white man's going to hand this over? You think America's just going to be like, yeah, you guys are right, we're the devil, we lied to you, Christ is dark-skinned, we put up ourselves as the angels, we stole your history, we raped, robbed, murdered, castrated the Native Americans, your babies, we lied to you, you're not niggas, big spook, wet bags, porch monkeys, water beetles. You're the chosen people of God, by the way. Here, 40 acres and a mule, how about the world? We owe this to you. You think that's really going to happen? No, sir. This kingdom is going to be taken by force. It's not going to be taken. We're not going to vote. Now, I got like 1,000 scriptures running through my head because I'm excited like Ariana. You know what I mean? But we're going to answer this question. Yes. Job 9:24. I'll tell you why I said that, because it says it in Job. Then we're going to 2 Corinthians 4, verse 4, to solidify that. Oh, to show the righteous what not to do, what evil is, what sin is. Remember that when Adam fell, sin entered into the world. When the wicked started to rule from Nimrod, all the way from Nimrod in the Tower of Babel, the earth is being ruled by wickedness. And the Most High would bring righteous men up, but wickedness, sin will come in and overthrow them. We ruled the world at one time in peace under Solomon for 40 years. But what did Solomon do? He messed up. He started dealing with these nation women, the other women, and what did they make him do? They started talking about Christmas, sacrificing gods of this world. That was 40 years only. The kingdom of Christ is going to be forever, on earth as it is in heaven. So let's answer the question, why? How do we know this time is given to the wicked?
Job chapter 9 and verse 24.
Job 9 and 24. Go ahead.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The
earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
It's given into his hand. Why? Because the Most High, as he comes back and he's giving everybody a time for mercy, for bowing down, to turn over a new leaf. Nobody's going to be able to say, wait, we didn't have the Bible. The white man had our book for thousands of years, and guess what? He didn't follow none of it. Right when he got the Bible, what did he do? He went and slaughtered 77 million North American Indians and put the tribe of Judah, you so-called Negroes, on slave ships. Under the false Christianity, Roman Catholic theology, all the Methodists, the Pentecostal, all these religions, all they did was misuse the Bible. It don't tell you nowhere in the Bible if an unbeliever don't believe, go burn them on the cross. It don't tell you that. It says leave them be. Vengeance is mine. But what did they do during the
Crusades?
The Crusades? They went and slaughtered people that wouldn't bow to Christianity, Roman Catholicism. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Go to 2 Corinthians 4, verse 4. It says he covered the faces of the judges thereof, because when he became the ruler of the earth, what did they start to do? Take all the real images of the judges of the Israelites and paint over all of them. Now they're God, they're Christ, they're the Israelites, they're the chosen people. 2 Corinthians 4, verse 4. Just to establish, this is not our time. This is not our reign. Read.
2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4.
Go ahead.
And the God of this world.
The what?
The God of this.
How about read 3? Let's get a little more context. Check this out. Read.
Verse 3.
Uh-huh.
But if our gospel be hid,
Right?
it is hid to them that are lost.
Read.
And the God of this world.
Wait a minute. You're thinking like the God of this world. Paul is saying, wait a minute. He knows the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But what was he saying? Who runs this world? Whose time is it? It's the wicked, the devil. And we're talking about his physical counterpart. He's been ruling for a long time. Read.
In whom the God of this world
Right.
hath blinded the minds of them which believe not.
Right. So this is their time. Right? Read on.
Lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them.
You see that? Or else, if they were enlightened and awoke, the word would wake them up. When they hear they're the chosen, you know how many people on the streets be crying at us talking about, no, we're the Gentiles when we street speaking? They don't want to be the chosen people of God. Why? Because the gospel is hid to them. They would rather believe that white Jesus is the Christ of the Bible than the man that's woolly hair in the furnace. So the gospel is hid to them. Now, the point is that this reign, this rulership is ruled by the wicked now here in the earth. Go to Proverbs.
When the righteous are in authority.
This should show y'all further what kingdom this is. We're not going to vote. We're not going to dance. We're not going to sing. We're not going to no justice, no peace. We know why we're here. The Most High put us here because we were disobedient. Go to Proverbs 29:2. The Most High, we were disobedient. So we know why this time has to happen. So we're not going to vote. And guess what? Ain't no real Hebrew Israelite teaching the word emphatically going to step up in the stead of being a leader in there. Once you get up in there, they're going to twist, they're going to turn, and if they can't twist and turn you, they'll kill you. Look at what they did to their own people. They killed Kennedy. They killed Kennedy. Why? He was trying to help them out a little bit. And I say a little bit because, come on now. He didn't really get to do what he was going to say he was going to do. He could have been like every other politician talking, but he was going to help them out a little bit. And they popped him right in his forehead. So, you try to tell me a stone cold Hebrew Israelite with his beard and all, moving up in politics, he's going to go from a basic governor to get up in there in the Senate, the Congress, and all the way up to the White House, right? Nah, bruh. Nah, even if you did this, because this is what I was thinking, because I like this question. How about if we just went undercover, shaved the beard off, didn't say you was an Israelite, and then work your way up in there, right? And then go, ta-da! Nah. Nah. You know what they gonna do? They gonna check your background. Oh, he was affiliated with They gonna crap on your name like they do all the politicians. And you're gonna get exposed for what you really are. Let's go further though. Read this. Come on.
Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
When the righteous are in authority.
Once again, establishing what authority is here. Job said, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Paul came back and solidified it, the God of this world. We're coming back again, David, or it could be Solomon, I gotta check that. But I want to say, no, this is Solomon, said what?
When the righteous are in authority,
Right?
the people rejoice.
Read.
But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
Right. Why is the earth people hurting, pain, suffering, homeless? Why are millions of dollars? Why right now? They're arguing in the Senate and the Congress to pass your unemployment to get whether you're going to get 200 or 600. Why is this a battle? When the first thing they came out and said was what? This might go long, and if it comes down to it, we're not only going to have to pass one bill, we're going to pass two bills. maybe even 3, depending where the virus takes us. They give you a little money and lost it. Like, there's a whole, we need to dial it back now. It's like, wait a minute. But remember when you had said if the virus would keep going, that you would help out the people and be there for them? You know how many black businesses, white businesses, if they don't care about their own kind, you gotta understand the wicked are ruling the earth. Not because their own, because the Lord is showing all of the world what happens when the devil has the power. Oh, you want wickedness? Okay. I'll let you do what you do then. How does that crack baby look in your neighborhood? You're supposed to wake the hell up and be like, man, I don't want crack in my neighborhood. Let me follow the laws of the Most High. But no, you got crack, he got crack, they got crack, the dealer got crack. You were supposed to say, damn, this is killing our communities. Right? You were supposed to say, you know when the comedian made the joke back in the day, Chris Rock, about the daughter being on the pole? Now it's a fad. Now it's a style just to be on the pole.
Yeah.
It's a theme. Right? You were supposed to say, man, hell no, I never want my daughter on a pole. Now it's like, why you pole shaming? Why you stripper shaming?
You slut shaming.
Why you slut shaming? Now it's no shame to be a slut. But it's to show you why they hate wickedness. Now look at your women. They out there, they butt naked, they're whoring out their bodies. Your children are without fathers, without mothers. You were supposed to sit back and say, I'm done with that. Please, give me the laws. Show me how to be right. But that's not a lot of our people. We're a certain elect, a small minute. Even if you look at all the Hebrew Israelites waking up, it's a small drop to all the wickedness and how our people hate righteousness. Our people are stubborn. We went in the other day after the street speaking to go get food, right? The brother, he's hearing us talk. 70-year-old cat. He's in the other seat. He's listening to us talk. And we're talking about Christmas or something, how, it's wrong, whatever. And he's like, yeah, but I don't judge nobody. And usually I'm the quiet type, and I just ignore it. But I just wanted to see. And I said, well, the Bible says a spiritual man judges all things. So yes, we're supposed to judge. It says, yet he is judge of no man. Because that's what the world tells you. Oh, you're judging. Yeah, we're supposed to judge. Oh, don't do crack. You're a crackhead. You're trying to sell me crack. My judgment is telling me crack is bad. No, crack is whack, right?
Crack is whack.
Crack is whack. That's my judgment. But America told you, oh, don't judge. So he's coming with that, oh, you know what? I let them do them. They judge. I said, but that's not what the Bible said. Well, that's what I do. I said, yeah, but a lot of our people don't read the Bible. That's the problem. Oh, you know what? Let's just end it there. I said, well, I thought we were having a conversation. Well, I said, let's end it there. You know why? Because our people are stubborn as hell. They're rebellious. They want to hear lies. And that's what that old, stubborn, stiff-necked nigga, that's how he's going to die. That's why the Most High said, you're going to have old fools, young maids, and little children who are going to be put to death. Because they ain't going to want to listen. They don't want to hear. He didn't even think to do what the Bible says. A wise man will hear, then judge. Right? A wise man will listen. A second, let me hear what you're saying. Really? The Bible says that?
Hear the whole.
No, show me. He could have said, show me that. And judge righteously. But he didn't even want to do that. That's how you know he didn't want to hear it. Brothers and sisters, this is not our kingdom. Go to Acts. We're going to finish this question. Go to Acts. Ooh, yeah, that's good. We're going to pull that one. Before we go to Acts, let's pull this one first, and then we'll jump over to Acts. I wanted to establish for the person that asked the question about voting that this is not our kingdom. You're not going to vote somebody in that is righteous. They're not going to let that happen. We got to get that through our head. You can vote. We can get all the Hebrew Israelites to vote. Listen, everybody voted for Obama. What that Negro do? What did he do?
Support the gays.
Right, he voted in transgenderism. He gave, no, I'm sorry, you're right, he gave free phones. That's what you said? He was definitely one of them. But he did get free phones. Like, Obama, what did he do? Obamacare, right. Okay, he saved us. Woo! You got Obamacare? You got Obamacare? We ain't got one damn Obamacare. Because Obama didn't care. Y'all got to understand this. Where you at first before we go to Acts?
Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 10 and verse 5.
So the question the brother asked was about voting. He said, and this is just the gist of it, basically, we need to vote. We need to get our own person in there to change a lot of things. We went to Job 9:24, 2 Corinthians 4, and Proverbs 29 and 2 to show that what? This ain't our kingdom. The wicked rules this kingdom. Now we're going to season it off, topping it off with Ecclesiastes, what?
Chapter 10 and verse 5.
10 and 5. Yeah, read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 5.
Go ahead.
There is an evil which I have seen under the sun,
Read.
as an error which proceeded from the ruler.
The error that proceed from what?
The ruler.
There's an evil that we see under the sun. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. You got to understand what the Most High is doing here, man. The wicked are ruling. And you ain't never going to get justice or peace. Because the scriptures say there shall be no peace unto the wicked. So read on. Oh, so that was it. So the error that proceeded from the ruler. And when we look at the rulers, what do we see? The errors, right? One more, Isaiah 9:16. We can keep going on this, but I'm trying to just answer his question and show him first. This kingdom is not ours, all right? Satan's time is his time. One more. It says the error proceeded from the ruler.
And verse 16.
Go ahead.
For the leaders of the people caused them to err,
Read.
and they that are led of them are destroyed.
Yeah, that's you being led by these politicians, by the fake pastors and preachers, right? You being led by them, they ain't gonna help us, y'all. I had the date down, forgive me for forgetting, but it's been about 100 years since the black man was able to vote. That's 100 years. Why are you still getting killed and murdered like it's 1620? Why? Because voting ain't gonna help you. They still look at you as a nigga, a spick, a water jumper, a water beetle, a cheetah monkey,
Street cheater.
a street cheetah, a what? Porch monkey. Did we forget that one? That's how they look at us. That's it. And if you get that through your head, you're living the wrong dream, Georgie. It's the wrong dream. This is not our dream, right? It is a dream. But check this out. Go from there. Go to Acts. Let me show y'all something. What Christ said out of his own mouth. Go to Acts. Go to Acts. We're going to hit the Acts. See, I see this guy over here. Go to Acts 1, verse 6. I'm going to show y'all something. Y'all pay attention to this. I hope, brother, you're still online. You didn't shut off. You didn't shut off yet. And listen to the scriptures. This world, this time period is in the hand of the wicked, right? Now look at what the apostles said. Now, who knows who was ruling during the time of the apostles? Raise your hand. Quick. Anybody? The Roman Empire. They were ruling during the time of the apostles, right? Okay. Now, during that time was the time of the beginning of the end. During Christ's death, it was the beginning of the end. Mama, please. Okay? So listen to this. Read Acts 1, verse 6.
Acts chapter 1 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
When they saw their four were come together, they asked of him.
No. Read it again.
When they therefore were come together,
Go ahead.
they asked of him, saying, Lord,
Right?
wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?
Wait a minute. They wanted to know what you wanted to know, what I want to know. When the hell are we getting out of here? When are the roles going to be switched? When are the Israelites going to rule again? Like Esdras said, you made the world for our sake, but the heathen reign over us. Right? Watch, hold that. Go to Esdras. I told you this was a good one.
You fired
Calm me down, Ariana. Give me my jello. No. Go to 2nd Esdras 7. I mess with him because he gets excited. He gets excited. I get excited. Go ahead. 2nd Esdras. You're going to read 7. Or is it 6? Thou madest the world. Let's see here. 2nd Esdras 7, and you're going to read verse 10. Now you're asking, remember Acts. Remember Acts 1. What did he say? Wilt thou restore the kingdom to Israel? Right?
God.
Remember that. Because the apostles these were real brothers. It was like, okay, is it our time? Is the white man, is the Romans going to fall out? Because this is what they knew. Read this.
2nd Esdras chapter 7 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
And I say, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion.
Go ahead.
Because for their sakes I made the world.
Are y'all listening to this? The kingdom, the world was made for you. In the beginning, it was set up for you to rule the earth. This is not no comic book, no Black Power movement. This is real. You understand this? Our nation was to rule. So that's why the apostles asked them, will thou again restore the kingdom to Israel? Basically, they was asking Yahushua, you finna get lit and destroy? You finna take them all out? Right? Yahushua goes on and acts and says it's not the time for you to know. Right?
God.
But this is what they knew. Read on.
And when Adam transgressed my statute, then was decreed that now is done.
Right. Then what is decreed that now is done. Now jump over to 6. In verse 54. Further, 2nd Esdras. You got the Apocrypha? You guys got an Apocrypha? Okay, the Apocrypha is part of the Bible. Here, somebody get them an Apocrypha. You got one? You don't got your Apocrypha? Right here. So this is the King James Apocrypha. It's part of the Bible that's taken out. This is not the book of Enoch, Jasher, the book of Jubilees, the book of Adam and Eve. This is literal part of the Bible that was with the Bible that was taken out, okay? 2nd Esdras is on what page, y'all?
It's on 20.
Page 22. Sorry, it's my ribs. All right, it's on page 22. And you're going to start at verse 54. Read that. 21. Go ahead.
2nd Esdras chapter 6 and verse 54.
Go ahead.
And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures,
Go ahead.
of his chosen.
You see that? You know how they say, well, we all bleed the same blood. It doesn't matter. No, it does. The Most High had a chosen people.
That's right.
Above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. Right? Now you're letting it ring in your head by why the apostles asked, will you restore the kingdom to Israel? Read that Acts 1:6 again. Read it one more time. Say where you're at. Watch. I want to read this one more time and get a little theatrics going real quick.
Acts.
Right? Acts 1:6. Read.
Acts chapter 1 and verse 6.
Uh-huh.
When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time
Vote for the kingdom.
At this time, restore the kingdom.
Dance.
Restore the kingdom.
Well, no. We're gonna vote for it, right? We're gonna vote for it. We're gonna sing. We're gonna march, right? Oh no. Wait. You're gonna politically set up the Israelite political system and get up to to the Roman Empire and vote our way out of here, Christ. Right? Is that what's going on here? The apostles are asking him, hey, how can we vote out here? Get ourselves out of here. Like Moses was in Egypt. He gathered all the Israelites and said, okay, we got to start a voting system. Moses was like, let my people go. Not vote. It wasn't about voting, marching, dancing, singing. You think we're about voting? No. We just got to wait till Big Bro come first.
That's right.
Because Big Bro is going to, all the bullets and guns and missiles, they ain't going to be able to do nothing against us when he comes, which is very soon. So what did they say? Read it again.
Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?
Right. Now we're finding out, where did that come from? Why did they say that? Because we just read in 7 and 11 that the world was made for us. Vanika, give me 1 second and I'm going to go to you. Go ahead, read on in 6. Go ahead.
All this have I spoken before you,
Right?
O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake.
Read.
As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing.
I bet Pastor ain't never read that to you.
Yes, sir.
Hell no, he ain't gonna read that. We're all created in God's eyes the same way. We're all equal in God's eyes. That ain't what the Bible says. He said, you're nothing. All the nations were nothing compared to the chosen of the Most High. Go ahead.
But be like unto spit.
He said they're like spit. And that goes right with Isaiah 40 verse 15. Read on.
And has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
Now listen, you know why Esdras is asking this? Watch what he asked. He asked the same thing the apostles asked. Like how many hundreds of years later? Like Esdras is going to ask the same thing that the apostles just asked Christ. Because we're all asking that, right?
God.
Like, when you go, please, Lord, when you go back, deliver us from these heathens, these demons, this nation, the lies, the falsehood. Every time you face the east, when you say, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Right? You're saying, please come back and do your will in this earth, just like heaven is in order. We're not saying, oh, Yahweh, please come back, because we need to set up this voting system that will really be recognized. You know what he's going to vote with? His sword.
Ugh.
It said it shall be bathed in blood. I ain't coming back to vote. Pass out flowers to hold hands across America. Sing Kumbaya, my Lord. It's death and destruction. Right? You remember? Every knee shall bow. Every knee is bowing. That means that nobody's standing with Yahweh Shai. Everybody's bowing. I got to go through it like this to get through brothers and sisters' head. Because when you talk about voting, are you serious? to lose it up here, but are you serious? You think the white man gives a damn about you or the system that was created and said that you, what was it, 1/3, 1/5 of a man? 1/4 of a man? 3/5. See, I had it all wrong. Thank you, sis. Yeah, it's like, like still, even in that 3/5 of a man, in their constitution, right? You think they're gonna really sit back and be like, man, the white guy that came to the street speaking the other day, he was like, man, I was strong. He was like, man, I grew up in the hood over here on whoopie-woo, right? And I looked at him and I said, brother, I said, you're not with us. Because when you were on those streets when our children were getting bashed, when your women on the tree, when they slit the blade from her vagina all the way up her stomach, ripped the babies out, took them and bashed them against trees, he was like, no. I was like, exactly, you're not with us. I said, your people left you out. You think in the kingdom we're going to have broke Israelites? No. You're going to have the 144,000, but do you know all Israelites, from the least to the greatest, are going to be rich and powerful and ruling? We're not be like the gods, having the power to transform into an angel and back. But we're still going to be way above the average person. It ain't going to be like the white man where he cut his own people out of the piece of the pie. That's how greedy they are.
God.
So that's what I was showing them, like, your people cut you out. They were supposed to keep you separate and let us niggas drink out of the separate fountains. You messed that up. Y'all know they were supposed to do that. It would have been better that way anyway. But what happened is, we wanted to be like them, walk like them, talk like them, and act like them when the world was created for us. Read on. Come on.
Verse 57. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathens.
This is what the apostles were saying. These what?
These heathens.
These what?
These heathens.
Read.
Which have ever been refuted as nothing.
Man, if you didn't think they was lighting up these heathens and being straightforward to tell you, man, that these nations were nothing compared to us. That's why when we act like them, we are nothing. The Most High don't recognize you. We're supposed to be acting like the gods that we are. And not just that, man, we gods, son. Hand me that blunt, dog. Like, if you a god, why you need a blunt to solve your issues? Oh, we gods, son. You know, my queen over here. Then why the hell is she dressed like a man? Why is she dressed like a queen? Why she ain't speaking like a queen? So no, we're not gods until we start acting like gods.
That's right.
But these heathens, read,
Which have ever been refuted as nothing.
read,
Are done to be lords over us
go ahead.
and to devour us. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands.
Now we see why it says in Acts 1 and 6, the apostles asked Christ before he was lifted up, beamed up in that chariot. They asked him, hey, you gonna stop this? You gonna stop these heathens from reigning over us now? Right? Read on.
If the world now be made for our sake,
Right. You said the world was made for us. Read.
why do we not possess an inheritance with the world?
Right, and we can get into that in another class. It goes deeper, showing you our mistake in chapter 7. Right? It shows you our mistake. But let's get back to the point that voting is not going to save us in a world that is not ours. Go from there. Go to
John 8 and 36.
Go to John 8:36. Let me show you further.
18:36.
18:36? Yeah. John 18:36. Further that this ain't you voting here in America. Let me show you what Christ said. Go ahead.
John chapter 18 and
18:36. Come on.
Yahushua answered, my kingdom is not of this world.
Wait a minute. We got the same kingdom.
My kingdom is not of this world.
Go ahead.
If my kingdom were of this world,
Go ahead.
then would my servants fight?
Then would my servants fight. No, march. Dance.
Fight.
Sing.
Fight.
Black Lives Matter. No Just Police.
My servants fight.
We were going to fight. That's what Christ is coming back to fight, to take the kingdom. So no, this is not our kingdom. From a historical standpoint, we've been in captivity under the Babylonians, the Persian and Medes, the Greeks, the Romans. We've been we're under America now. The British ruled us. All these nations that ruled us. You think Christ is coming back to vote? They spilled all that blood, and the way we gonna get it back is voting. You're living the American dream. You're in a dream state. No, I'm saying you're dreaming. It's never gonna happen like that. We're gonna take the kingdom, like it says in Daniel 7:18. It says the saints of the get it for me. Get it? He got me hyped. Get it? There's no voting, man. That's why every time somebody comes with that voting thing, they be like, "Oh, you don't vote. We're trying enough people to vote. You don't vote, it's gonna change it." I look at them. Do you really want me to go into this? Like, where you want me to start? You got 3 hours? Because no, voting ain't gonna change nothing. They walk away. Read that, Daniel 7:18.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 18.
Go ahead.
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
No, we're gonna vote for it.
Take the kingdom.
Dance.
Take the kingdom.
Read.
And possess the kingdom forever. Even forever and ever.
The saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. You understand that? Take. I could go on and on and on and on and on. But let's go on to some little same point, but let's go another route. What are we supposed to be doing? Right? Are we supposed to be joining up with this kingdom? Being like America? Go to Revelations 18. Go to Revelations 18 and 4. And then, I know I went along with this, but it was a question. Good question, though. Revelations 18 and 4. Come on.
Revelation chapter 18 and verse 4.
Go ahead.
And I heard another voice from heaven say, come out of her, my people.
Do what?
Come out of her.
Join the political system.
Come out of her.
Believe in their ideas.
Come out of her.
Believe in their politics.
Come out of her.
We're supposed to come out of America. And now we know it don't mean get out of vote. Because anywhere you go, America has influence. It's talking about the mind state. You got Christmas, Halloween, the Thanksgiving, the voting, the politics, the drugs, the dope, the religions. We got to come out of these ways. Read.
That ye be not partakers of her sin.
Because when you vote, you're joining up and thinking that that's going to change, but really you start to partake and believe in their ideas. I'm going to finish it off with the last one, the law. We're going to show you in the law, you were never to vote outside of anybody that was not of your nation. You weren't supposed to vote for any other king outside of your people. But nowadays, even our people act like what? The heathen. They act like the enemy. Right? But read this. Go ahead.
And that you receive not of her plague.
So that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be coming out of these ideas, setting up our own, building our own. And I know it takes work. It takes work gathering ourselves together, establishing the rules and laws, trying to set up our own system, our own economy. Even that in itself, to say that, how are we going to get all these brothers and sisters together and start our own businesses, our own food system, our own plans, right? Our own businesses. We depend on the white man in America too much. But it's going to take work. It's going to take work. That's why Christ has to save us. It ain't us. All the wisdom and knowledge I got, all the wisdom and knowledge that all the brothers, all these schools got, think about it. We still ain't united like we need to. Why? Because the one missing piece, the most important. Yahushua is going to come back and put everybody in order and break everybody's pride. Humble everybody. Until then, we got to learn. We got to put off the old man and keep doing what we're doing. Waking up our people. Bringing them out of this African-American mind state. Bringing them out of this American mentality. Where are you at? One last scripture, and hopefully this answered your question on why we don't vote. Where are we at?
Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15.
Deuteronomy 17 and 15. And just because of that, because he said about voting, do the hidden truth why Hebrew Israelites love Trump. Put that one in there for him. Throw that one in there. It's a little 6-minute hidden truth one we did. You'll see. I know the name is clickbait, but you'll see it. Read that. Where are we at?
Deuteronomy chapter 17 and verse 15.
Deuteronomy 17 and 15. Go ahead.
Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose.
See, first of all, the Lord has to choose them. And how do you know they're of the Lord? Because they're going to establish the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Strike one for all these false kings. Read.
One from among thy brethren.
And on another note, he said only from what?
Among thy brethren.
We weren't supposed to vote for anybody that wasn't among our brethren anyway. Now, I'm going to reiterate it. You got too many puppets up there, and they have to be of the Lord. So when I see a man get up there and start cutting down and destroying all the lies, until then I ain't voting for nothing. I'm voting for Yahushua to come back and shed blood like he said he would. That's what I'm voting for. All right, and that's what you should be voting for, based on what we just went over. All right. What else? Any other questions? I know that was a long one. Anybody got anything on that? You good? We're going to go over the Adam and Eve one. I'll go over it too. Okay. Next time you show up, we'll go over it. All right? All right. Because if you got a few you're asking, then we got to hit it.
I like W's statement. He said, I voted over 60 years. I voted for over 60 years and have not seen anything but things get worse.
There you go. And Dawayan is 60, so he can say that.
Con.
Voted all that time. All of our ancestors, all of our forefathers. Sis, did you have some? What you had? Okay, 2 questions. How can we prove we came from Shem and not Ham? Okay, that one right there is going to be answered the next time we do the Genesis class. I'll go over that. All right, but that is going to go into, we got to go right back to Genesis 1, 2, and 3. So when y'all want Genesis, we don't have to give y'all Genesis. We're going to have to, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, I like it. That's where we get all deep into the depthness. But we just want y'all to learn. We want y'all you gotta understand that the Bible is written a lot of metaphor. So we're gonna be jumping a lot from Genesis to show you the metaphors in other chapters. So, but the one we can answer is about Shem, or I should say, the one we will answer right now is about Shem. How do we know we're Shemitic and not Hamitic, right? So you go to the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary. All right, you can start there. Read back.
Zondervan Bible Pictorial Dictionary, page 330. The definition is Ham. It says, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood.
Right.
And one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races.
He became the forefather of the dark races. Go ahead.
Not the Negroes.
Right. So this is to show you that the white man knew, when they put this dictionary together, that the black man was not Hamitic. All right. Go ahead.
But the Egyptians, Ethiopians,
Right.
Lydians, and the Canaanites.
Right. Now, are you further asking biblically? Because remember, biblically, we got to go with our biblical mind and our biblical name. All right. So to go biblically now, go to Genesis. Go to Genesis 10:1. Go to Genesis 10:1. And she asked for brothers and sisters online.
I told you to change it up to the question.
Yeah, we're showing that we're Shemitic, not Hamitic. Genesis 10:1, let's go.
Genesis chapter 10 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah.
Go ahead.
Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Right.
And unto them were sons born after the flood.
Right. So the whole earth was populated through these men, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. These were the 8 souls that, after the Most High showed the world that the lineage or line you had to come through. Okay? So we read about Ham. Now, this goes into all 3 sons. Her question is Shem. So we're going to jump over to verse 21. And we're going to talk about Shem. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 10.
Right, so y'all get that, right? The whole earth was destroyed. Shem, Ham, Japheth, and their wives came on the ark. The whole earth was inhabited by these families, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And over time, you came through one of those lineages. You hear people say anti-Semitic, they mean Shemitic, right? They say Sem or Shem. You'll hear it like that pertaining to his name in Greek form and English form, depending on how they want to say it. But we know we're talking about Shem, Ham, and Japheth, all right? All right, verse 21, go ahead.
Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber,
Right,
the brother of Japheth,
right,
the elder, even to him were children born.
go ahead.
The children of Shem, Elam,
Right, so these are Shemitic people. The Elamites, the East Indians, are Shemitic people. Go ahead.
Elam, and Asher,
Ashur,
Ashur,
right, the Assyrians,
and Aphardax,
Arphaxad,
Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram,
right,
and the children of Aram,
right,
Uz,
right,
Yul, and Gether, and Mash.
right. So when you read in the Bible, you will hear these landmass because these men named the lands after their name. So Job dwelt in the land of Uz, coming from Uz. Uz was a Shemite. Doesn't mean he was an Israelite. He means he was a Shemite. Go ahead. Arphaxad.
Begot
Salah. Go ahead.
and Salah begot Eber.
So this Eber is where we get Hebrew from. So when you look up these names in Hebrew, it doesn't say Eber, it says Ibar. Ibar means pass. So this is where Hebrew comes from. Why do we speak Hebrew? Because Eber was coming from Shem. And they are the ones that kept Ibar or Ibaryah, which was Hebrew. Alright? Trying to talk slow so I won't be fumbling over what I'm saying. So you get that? So why are we Hebrew Israelites? Because one of our forefathers, through Shem, which was Eber, kept the original language. Right? Which was Hebrew. When I say original language, all the way from Adam, because what did Noah speak? Hebrew. And he taught his sons Hebrew. But all of them didn't keep Hebrew because the languages were divided. But Ibaryah shows that we kept Hebrew. And this is why Abram is known as Abram the Hebrew. So you're seeing a line through Shem. Read.
And unto Eber were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg.
Right.
For in his bed was the birth of life.
And Peleg means to divide. So a lot of these names that mean, we had Hebrew names. It was Hebrew names that had meaning. We didn't just name ourselves, a name just to sound cool. It was meaning. It was background. It was substance. Not nowadays. Like when we're named nowadays, you just name yourself some, what are you, Nefertiti. You know what I mean? What are you, a Nubian? What is a Nubian? Oh, that's a woman's head wrap. Like that's your substance? You want to be called a woman's head wrap. Right? Nah. That's madness. Read.
And his brother's name was Jonathan.
So, that being said, as we come into the truth, and we're starting to put off the old man and put on the new, we take on new Hebrew, new names, new, which are Hebrew. Go ahead.
Verse 26.
Uh-huh.
And Jonathan begot Abel.
Now, all these men are men, but we want to talk about figuring where does Israelites come? How do we know we're from the line of Shem? Go ahead, read on.
And Shem, and Hazar,
Right?
and Jerah,
Right?
and Hadoram,
Uh-huh.
and Esau, and Dikah,
Right?
and Obal, and Abiah, and Sarah, and Ofer.
Okay, now jump from there, jump to 11 and 10.
Genesis chapter 11, verse 10.
Right?
These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 11 years old,
Right?
and begot Arphaxad.
Our facts that. Now jump to verse 14. Just reiterating, that's all it's doing here. Jump to verse 14, go ahead.
And Salah lived 30 years,
Right?
and begot Eber.
We just read that, right? Ibar, which is Hebrew. Now jump down to verse 18.
Verse 8. And Peleg lived 30 years,
So Peleg, we know that the languages were divided during this time. Go ahead.
and begot Ruth.
Jump down to verse 22.
And Ruth lived 30 years,
Go ahead.
and begot Noah.
Right?
And Ruth lived after he begot Noah
Uh-huh.
200 years,
Right?
and begot sons and daughters.
Right? So Saru begot Nahor. Go ahead.
And Nahor lived 90
Go ahead.
and begot sons in 30.
Go ahead.
And Terah lived 70 years.
Read.
Abram,
Began who?
Abram,
Who?
Abram,
Which also is known as Abraham. So, what line did Abraham come from?
Shem.
He was from the line of Shem. He was Shemitic. Y'all get this?
Come.
So, Abraham Hebrew, where's that at? So, now we know Abraham begat who? Abraham begat Isaac. Isaac begat Jacob. And Jacob had the 12 tribes of Israel. But before we jump to that,
14, 13.
go to, you said 14, 13?
Yes, sir.
Jump down to, go to Hebrew 14, 13.
Genesis 14, 13.
Genesis 14, 13. So we know Abram was of Shem. Okay? Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 14 and verse 13.
Go ahead.
And there came one that had escaped
Uh-huh.
and told Abram the Hebrew.
Abram the what?
The Hebrew.
Why was he called the Hebrew? Because they kept the language that Ibar had, Heber had. You see that? But their father, great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was who? Shem. Y'all see that? So this is how we know we're Shemitic. Now, when you link that back, you go to the definition of Ham, why did it say not the Negroes? Because we are not African. We don't come from Hamitic line. We come from Shemitic line. Whole different lineage. Does that help?
That's why he called the Canaanites
Yeah, because that's how the Most High. Remember what it said in Esdras? It said they're like spittle. Yeah, that's why he called her a dog. She's talking about in John 4. So, yeah. So we will definitely go over to Adam and Eve, the Genesis. We're not gonna hold that back from y'all. Not a problem. I do want to do it this way though. Genesis 1, 2, and 3. I don't want to go 3, 2, 1. I want to go 1, 2, and 3. So y'all can get it all together. All right. So we went over. Do this. Hold y'all questions because we'll be here all night, which is not a problem. Which is not a problem. So Thursday. Right? Thursday we'll be here. If we miss any questions, if we didn't get to your questions, we will answer them. All right? So keep coming with them. All right, I was just looking here to see if anybody had anything else. There was one more. Is it quick?
what's the scripture about just because you don't know something, you just chapter 4?
Say that again.
What's the scripture about just because you don't know something, you just chapter 4?
Oh, I got you.
He that knoweth to do good and doeth it not.
Beaten with many beaten with few stripes.
Oh, he that beat. Oh, right. He that. Yeah.
Luke chapter 12 and verse 40. You can start at 47.
Luke 12:47. So that was that it on that? Yeah, Luke 12:47. So you can write that down. Luke 12:47. And like I said, if we missed anything, you just hold it. We're not going nowhere. Lord willing. We'll be back here Thursday. All right. Other than that, we want to thank brothers and sisters for tuning in and the positivity, the strength, the support. We will see y'all Thursday. No, if you subscribe to both channels, y'all should be sitting and watching class in Houston on Thursday, and be back here. Excuse me. Wednesday, Houston, Thursday, back here. All right, everybody salute them, say shalom, y'all.